Yeah, what is up, everyone? You see me, Mario Fan 520, and oh my gosh, I am hyped. Yes, hyped. Because not only I'll be doing a movie review of one of the best movies of 2015, I will be completing my first trilogy movie review of Jurassic Park. Oh my goodness, I am very excited to do this movie review for you guys. You're in for a treat. Jurassic World is directed by Colin Trevorrow and stars Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and is the fourth installment of the Jurassic Park franchise. And this is a movie that people have been waiting since the early 2000s, like maybe 2004, and it finally came out in 2015. People have been waiting for this movie for like a decade, and it finally came out. It finally came out. I mean, for a Jurassic Park fan, I was excited for this movie too. I walked in this movie theater with my mom and my sister. I couldn't wait. Just by seeing the Universal logo, I was excited. I was very excited. And I walked in this movie hoping this movie would be good, but it was actually way better. To be honest, in my opinion, this film is just as good as the original Jurassic Park film. It basically takes place in a place called Jurassic World. It's everything that John Hammond wanted it to be. It's kind of like a huge theme park with 20,000 people. And they have this new attraction that can bring more people, and it has more teeth, known as the Indominus Rex. So everyone can look at it and everyone can have a lot of fun. So they can bring more visitors. And after that, the Indominus Rex escapes, and they have to hunt it down, and dinosaurs start eating people. But was this movie good? It was, in my opinion, it was better than good. It was fantastic. The CGI in this movie is absolutely astounding. I love the CGI in this movie, and I love the characters. The acting is great. The plot is fantastic. I love the Indominus Rex. That thing is amazing. Now let me first, before we get on to the rest of the movie, let me talk about the characters. First off, Chris Pratt. He was amazing in this movie. He was good in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was good in the Lego movie, and he's just as good in this movie. He was brave, he was strong, he had a great connection with the Velociraptors, and he had a lot of charisma, which I really liked. He was just a very lovable character in this movie that I could not take my eyes off of. Like, he's probably the most interesting character in this film. And Bryce Dallas Howard, she was good in this movie too. She had a lot more things to do. She looks like that person that would work at the lab, but she has a lot of things to do in this film. And her performances was fantastic. And I think she had a lot of bravery in this film too. She was smart, she was loyal, she was focusing on what she was always acting on. And to a lot of people, she just had a lot more things to do in this movie. And I appreciate her performance in this film. Now let me get into the new star dinosaur that we have in this film, the Indominus Rex. It fits as a great dinosaur villain in this movie. It fits perfectly, even though it is a made-up monster, even though it wasn't actually real 65 million years ago. It works. The CGI as the Indominus Rex works. The genes that it has, like the techniques that it can do, like it can camouflage and it's part raptor and stuff like that, it works. I mean, that dinosaur is cool. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And I like how Jurassic Park went with, let's make this new attraction that'll bring more visitors and which will make the dinosaur have more teeth and have more instincts than all the other dinosaurs do, like the T-Rex and stuff like that, and the Velociraptors. I mean, it just fitted perfectly with the movie. I liked how they went with it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, every decade, CGI has been growing and developing every decade. But to be honest, The latest Jurassic Park movie before this was Jurassic Park the third. And I'm gonna say the CGI is good, but it's not as good as this CGI. I mean, this CGI is actually a little better than Jurassic Park's 3 CGI. And like I mentioned in my Lost World Jurassic Park movie review, Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World both have a lot of CGI. But for the most part, their CGI is good. It is good. Now I want to talk about the connection between the relationships between Chris Pratt and the Velociraptors. And now I'm just going to say this. In my opinion, Chris Pratt and the Velociraptors were definitely the best part of this film. They took it to a good level with Chris Pratt and the Raptors. I think, and a lot of people were actually kind of worried about the Raptors' trainings and stuff like that. And I think the film handled it perfectly well done with the Raptors and their training and the relationships with Chris Pratt. And I think that was the most touching part in the entire movie. And the last 30 minutes of this movie absolutely blew me away. Like, the scenes where the raptors turn against the humans. I love that part. I actually saw it coming too, because if you look at every Jurassic Park movie, like near the endings, there's always a velociraptor attack. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's a person, the main character or whatever, there's always a velociraptor ambush. And I saw it coming in this film too. I saw it coming, and it just reminded me of all the other Jurassic Park movies. And I also liked how they managed to actually give the velociraptors names. Like, they have like Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo, I think their names are. I think I liked that. I mean, I really liked it. I think it was a clever idea to actually have Chris Pratt and the Raptors work together. Like, to have this amazing relationship where it just touches to your heart. At least it touched to mine. And the CGI for the Velociraptors also blew me away in this film. And the animatronics, it was just good. They all fitted really great. And now I want to get to the two kids that were played by Ty Simpkins and Nick Robinson. There were many great kid roles in Hollywood films, but I think Simpkins and Robinson absolutely pulled it off in this film. Their performance was amazing. I really loved their performance, and they had a lot of backstories in the films, like their parents getting divorced and stuff like that. I liked that. I had no problem with it and stuff like that. Their journeys and stuff like that, I really liked it. Their performances were fantastic, and I respect it, especially if it involves with younger actors. And now let me get to the next character who also has a great performance in this film. So Hoskins is played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and he was just great in this movie. I liked his acting. I really liked his performance. It shows that he was serious in this movie. He was another person on what he was focused on what he was acting on, and there were some weird things about him. In this movie, his character is kind of an a-hole, to be honest, and he has this plan to bring the army and soldiers and the Velociraptors to go after the Indominus Rex. But I did like his character. I really did like his character. His character was very great. It was very great. You guys, this movie surprised me on so many levels. It's amazing. It has great CGI, great characters, great acting, great plot. I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. In my opinion, it's probably as good as The Lost World and the original Jurassic Park. It's a very great movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I'm just saying this. I don't know what you're doing with your life. See it. Definitely see it. It's very great. In my opinion, it probably has to be as good as the original Jurassic Park. It has a good plot, good characters. Even though it's not directed by Steven Spielberg, it's still good. And he's actually one of the executive producers in this movie. And I'm still glad that he at least had to be a part of this movie because, I mean, Steven Spielberg is literally a legend. And Colin Trevorrow, he did a great job directing this movie. I think that's what his name is, but he did a great job on directing this movie. He's a very great director too. And I'm just gonna say the CGI in this movie and the animatronics are stellar in my opinion. They're very great. The animatronics are a little better than the Jurassic Park 3 animatronics, but they're better. And I'll have to say this movie's probably better than Jurassic Park 3. It's probably way better than Jurassic Park 3 in my opinion. But I don't want to get too negative because Jurassic Park 3 is still good too. But anyway, this movie is amazing. It's very great. The first time I went in this movie theater, I expected it to be good, but no, it was better in my opinion. I walked out of that movie theater with a happy face, with a smiley face, and I did not let it go. And I'm gonna give Jurassic World an A+. So you guys, thank you for watching my movie review of me reviewing Jurassic World. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely see it. And I'm sorry I'm not going to give out any shout-outs today, but in my next video, hopefully I'll give out some shout-outs. Yeah, this movie was amazing. It's probably as good as the original Jurassic Park. I mean, it won the nomination of the #1 movie in the world in 2015, and pretty impressive. It's kind of hard to get that rank, but it was pretty impressive. I loved this movie. I love it. It's very great. Very great. And if you have not seen it, definitely watch it. Definitely. You probably gonna have a great time watching it as much as I had a great time watching it. So anyway, thank you for watching me doing a movie review of Jurassic World. And as always, I am Mario Fan 520, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.